So hi everyone again in your 7th lecture in Learn Arabic Language for the Moment course. In this lecture, the 7th lecture, we're going to have the Arabic pronouns. Arabic pronouns, like in English pronouns, it actually uses the same methods, the same aspects for everything, but only one thing is making the difference, is masculine or feminine. We're going to go through that. So the learning agenda for today will be learn the Arabic pronouns, which is الضمائر, Arabic pronouns, then relative pronouns, الأسماء الموصولة, which is something related to the other, a deed that is related to the previous person or the one who did it, relative pronouns, like in English, and then أسماء الإشارة, which is the demonstrative. The last thing we are going to have in this lecture will be the possessive pronouns. First, let's have a little bit of abstract on that. The objects and animals, places should be considered when we are using pronouns in English language. This is something we all know. But in Arabic language, pronouns are either masculine or feminine. They don't have like the it. You know, when we are using it in the English language, in Arabic language we don't use it at all. So whether this is feminine, the subject is feminine or masculine, we are using the pronouns accordingly. So it's not in the Arabic language. We don't have it. So now let's start with the first subject for today. It will be the Arabic pronouns. Like in English, it's a noun used as an alternative of subjects in the sentence to avoid repetition and shed light on the important information on the sentence. So sometimes if you are mentioning the same person, the same subject, that he is doing the deed and this guy he did that and he did this and that, if you keep repeating his name, this is going to have the reader away from the important information there. So it will make the sentence or the paragraph less wordy. So the Arabic pronouns express someone who is talking about himself, someone who is addressing another one who is present, and someone who is addressing another one who is absent. So we will have one by one, and then we will understand all of these three types. Another one means cat, for example, house, man, tree. It doesn't matter. Only masculine and feminine is what matters. So someone who is talking about himself, this includes the individual or group. So in Arabic we call it ضمير المتكلم, the one who is talking about himself. So if we consider that this A is one person and B is another person, A is talking to be about himself. A is talking to be about himself. The two pronouns are using for this in Arabic language is أنا. I believe that we have this in a previous lecture. أنا, which is me. أنا, I like the school. I like the school. أنا أحب المدرسة. أنا أحب المدرسة. نحن, if it's group. So the first one is for individual and for a single man. And the other one is for نحن, for a group of people. نحن نحب المدرسة. We like the school. نحن. So even if you are trying to understand something here, when we are saying نحن نحب المدرسة, حب is the root word. نحب, we use it with the pronoun نحن, we. So نحب المدرسة, or أحب ألف if we are talking about ourselves. So the second type here would be if we are addressing someone who is present. So again, A and B. A is talking to B, he's addressing B. So what are the things that in Arabic language we call it ضمير المخاطب? We are talking to someone, we are addressing someone. It's exactly the same even definition in the English language. أنت, أنتي, أنتما, أنتم, أنتن. So أنت, as you can see here, أنت, there is فتحة over the letter ta, anta, anta. However, for the second one, anti, anti is, you would understand, as we, I believe, mentioned that before, anta, when it's fatha, that means it's masculine. Anti, it's feminine. So أنت تحب المدرسة، أنت تحبين المدرسة، أنتما تحبان المدرسة، أنتما تحبان المدرسة، أنتما تحبان المدرسة. As you can see here, أنتما, ألف نون تاء is a repetitive letters in these pronouns. However, what makes the difference is the critical mark and the additional of the suffixes. For أنتما, dual, أنتم تحبون المدرسة, a group of people who are masculine. أنتم تحبون المدرسة, or أنتن تحبن المدرسة, أنتن تحبن المدرسة. أنتن is a group of feminine. So as we have explained before, when we are talking about the pronouns in Arabic language, what matters is masculine or feminine. In English language, you cover this, all of this scenario. You like the school, it covers أنت, أنتي, أنتما, أنتم, and أنتن. All of these pronouns are used for a particular person. If he is a feminine, if he is a male, female, a group of females, a group of males, or duals, two people. The third type of the Arabic pronouns is someone who is talking about or addressing someone else who is absent. We call it in Arabic ضمير الغائب. غائب means absent. So if A is talking to B about C, this is exactly expresses the exactly definition of this pronoun. That's the third type. So A is talking to B about C. What are these pronouns? Is هو, هي, هما, هن, هم. هو, again, يحب المدرسة. هو, as you can see, I'm using exactly the same examples just to have you in the same line. I don't want to use different examples, just to know what is exactly is changing in the sentence. So he likes the school. هو يحب المدرسة. هي تحب المدرسة. As you can see here, يا يحب, هي تحب المدرسة. I'm using different letters to express even in the verb itself. هو يحب المدرسة, هي تحب المدرسة. He likes school, she likes school. هما يحبان المدرسة, هما يحبان المدرسة. As you can see here, هما يحبان, like هو يحب, يحب. Only different here is هما and يحباني, an added at the end, which is ألف نون. يحبان المدرسة. هن يحببن المدرسة. هن يحبن المدرسة. So this noon is noon al-niswa, which we have talking about earlier in our lecture. We explained this noon al-niswa, you remember. Noon al-niswa and waw al-jama'. Noon al-niswa is used for a group of females, and waw al-jama' is a group of males. So هن يحبن المدرسة, or هم يحبون المدرسة. هم for males. In English language, we say they like school. They like school, not likes. They like school. They like the school. But in Arabic language, again, what makes the difference is who you are addressing. Is a female or male, group or dual or singular. So a pronoun, this is now a new subject, which is relative pronouns. It's meaningless without adding another part to the sentence, like in Arabic language. Again, I'm repeating that. Things, items, people, person, groups won't make a difference. What makes the difference is being masculine or feminine again. This is, again, we are repeating that because in pronouns, this is exactly what makes the difference, masculine or feminine. Maybe you're questioning yourself, okay, how can I know that if this is feminine or masculine? I'll be explaining this. Just give me some time. So, الذي, التي, اللذان, اللتان, الذين, اللاتي. سمعت الرجل الذي. So this is for singular. I'm talking about someone, I have heard someone who is singing. So سمعت الرجل الذي يغني. I hear the man who is singing. I hear the man who is singing. سمعت, me, I heard. سمعت الرجل الذي يغني. سمعت الفتاة التي تغني. As you can see here, yeah, for يغني for the male or the masculine, and ta for the female, feminine. This is what makes the difference in the Arabic language. Why I'm keeping repeating that in the verb or in the pronouns that we are using. You're saying, okay, how can we make the difference? I will explain it now. If we say al-qittata, by the way, this is al-qitta means cat. If we say al-qittata or al-qitt, how can I know which one of these are the female, which one of these are the male? In English language, cat is cat and that's it. But in Arabic language, no. Al-qittata, if there is ta at the end of the word, like I would just, let me highlight it here. If we say al-qittata and we put this ta means it's a feminine. It's a feminine. Without the ta, usually we will find this in the whole subjects. If we don't find, of course, the names of females, this considered a female, feminine. And if there's no, but I mean in the general things, outside of the, regardless of the names. And if I say al-qitt without the ta, that means it's masculine. So I heard the girl who is singing. Now, اللذان سمعت الرجلان اللذان يغنيان. Again, for the feminine, for the masculine, I used يغنيان. I start with ya, يغنيان, not ta. Both اللذان and اللتان is dual. But again, there's a big difference between masculine and feminine. As we said, that this is what matters in the Arabic language. So, اللذان يغنيان, I heard the two men who are singing. Or سمعت الفتاتان اللتان تغنيان. سمعت الفتاتان اللتان تغنيان. اللتان تغنيان. Again, I said here that يغنيان is masculine, تغنيان is feminine. The verb starts with ya or ta. I hear the two girls who are singing. So this one, we are using it for a group of people who are masculine. سمعت الرجال الذين يغنون. سمعت الرجال الذين يغنون. I heard the men who are singing. Who are singing. سمعت الفتيات اللاتي يغنين. اللاتي يغنين. As you can see here, even if I change الرجل or الفتاة, girl or man, if I change these to cats, to dogs, for example, this wouldn't make any difference. We are going to use exactly the same pronouns. Who. So here, the last one, سمعت الفتيات اللاتي تغنين. سمعت الفتيات اللاتي تغنين. Again, so whenever we writing in the verbs, we start the verb with ya, we would understand that we are talking about a masculine. But what makes the difference between a group or singular is the pronoun itself that we are using it in the sentence. سمعت الفتيات اللاتي يغنين. اللاتي تغنين, we can use both, but the most rightful one is ta, or we can say تغنين. تغنين. We can use both, but sometimes there is some conditions. We would learn it in the future. I hear the girls who are singing. I hear the girls who are singing. So this is al-asma al-mawsula, which is the relative pronouns. Now let's go to the Arabic language demonstrative. Al-asma al-ishara, when we are indicate someone to show to show where an object, event, or person in relation to the speaker. Like in English language, Arabic language demonstrative got two types, for far or near. If we are talking about someone who is in relation to me, but he is far away from me, or he is near to me, considering again masculine and feminine. Masculine and feminine. is what makes the difference in choosing the rightful demonstrative. So let's go to the near first, and then we're going to the far ones. So near means here. In Arabic we say huna, huna, here. We can express huna, here, near, as you can see. So هذا, هذه, هذان, هاتان, هؤلاء. If we look at the first sentence, I used the word or the pronoun or the demonstrative هذا. هذا is for masculine, one singular masculine, and هذه one singular feminine. هذان for masculine, two people, only two people, only two people. And هاتان feminine, only two people. However, in demonstrative, هؤلاء is masculine or feminine, three or more. If you are talking about three people or more, we can use هؤلاء. Now we are going to have examples for each one, so we would understand what is going on here. So the first one, هذا, which is the masculine. هذا البيت لي, هذا البيت لي, هذا البيت لي. This house is mine. This house is mine. لي, mine. هذا, this. هذه الشجرة كبيرة. As you can see here, الشجرة means tree. Tree is it. In English we use it. However, in Arabic language we don't use it. We use exactly the same pronoun. هذه الشجرة كبيرة. This tree is big. هذان البيتان لي. هذان البيتان لي. There are two houses here. هذان البيتان لي. Those two houses, these two houses are mine. هاتان الشجرتان كبيرتان. هاتان الشجرتان كبيرتان. As you can see here, هذان for two, only two. شجرتان, two trees, two houses, two trees. هؤلاء الرجال إخوتي. هؤلاء الرجال إخوتي. هؤلاء, I'm using it for a group of men. هؤلاء الرجال إخوتي. هؤلاء الرجال إخوتي. These men are my brothers. These men are my brothers. Even I can say it for female, for example. These women are my sisters. Exactly the same. Demonstrative for far. هناك, there, far. هناك in Arabic, there, far, for far. أولئك للبعيد. المخاطب المشار إليه البعيد. أولئك الرجال إخوتي. The first thing we need to understand is what we are talking about, for whom this one is used. This أولئك, the first one, is used for masculine and feminine. There's no different. Three or more, or two or more than two. ذلك for masculine one, تلك for feminine, one feminine or one woman. أولئك الرجال أخوتي. Those men are my brothers. ذلك الحصان سريع. ذلك الحصان سريع. ذلك الحصان سريع. As you can see here, الحصان here is not like a human. He's not a human. We cannot use he for example in English language we cannot use he. However, in Arabic language we use the same pronouns that we are using, or the same demonstrative that we are using for man or woman. We are using exactly the same, like أولئك and ذلك and تلك. Feminine and masculine is what makes the difference. تلك الشجرة صغيرة. تلك الشجرة صغيرة. As you can see here, in English language we use that for all. That. Once we say that, that means it works for ذلك or تلك. If we are talking about something that is far away from us, that tree, that horse, that boy, it doesn't make actually any difference. So once we say that in our English language, it helps the same meaning and the same idea. So three demonstrative that we are using for far, to demonstrative for far objects or subjects, which is أولئك, ذلك, and تلك. As we just said, شجرة is feminine, حصان is masculine. Now let's go to the possessive pronouns. Possessive pronouns means in Arabic ضمائر الملكية, that I own it, I own this one, I own this house, I own this car. A pronouns that expresses possessive of what comes next. هذا البيت لي. In Arabic language there's something really nice, and sometimes they don't like to talk too much. So what they are doing is they are connecting the last in the pronouns, the last letter in the pronoun itself to the object. So for example, rather than say هذا البيت لي, we say هذا بيتي, this house is mine. هذا البيت لي, we say this is my house. So we use al, which is the article al, for the known object. But if we decided to remove al, and we connect ya, which is when I'm talking about myself, something that I own, when I connect the ya to the object itself, then I have to remove al and connect the ya, because now I know what I'm talking about. I don't need al to express anything. Al here will be redundant. We don't need it, because ya here expresses exactly the same scenario what I want to express by using al. Exactly the same when I'm talking about something that is for you. هذا البيت لك, هذا بيتك, هذا بيتك. I say هذا بيتك rather than say هذا البيت لك. I say هذا بيتك. هذا البيت له. If I'm talking about someone who is not here now, I'm saying هذا البيت له, هذا بيته. Or someone who is feminine or female, I'm saying هذا البيت لها, هذا بيتها, هذا بيتها. Just notice here, that's really amazing. When you are talking about this possessive pronouns, the only thing that you need, if someone, even from the writing itself, you would understand that the one who is writing these things is someone who is relaxed while he is writing, or he was stressed. He needed to express everything that he's writing or talking about. So once you connect this, you attach this pronoun, which is, I'm coloring it in red, to this object, that means enough. You can just know to whom I'm talking about, whom does it belong to. هذا البيت لكم, هذا بيتكم, or هذا البيت لهم, هذا بيتهم. Now let me write the English so you would understand what I was talking about here. Even you can stop the video whenever you want, just to see and read exactly what was the scenario here. So here, this house is mine, this house is yours, this house is his, this house is hers, and then this house is ours. I'm writing the sentence in Arabic, but in English, using the Latin letters, just to know how did I read it. This house is yours and this house is theirs. Here, possessive pronouns, the only thing that I want you to understand from this slide is that I can connect the last letter, which is in red, this one, ya, kaf, ha. These letters in red, I can connect them to the object to express exactly who does this house or whatever belongs to whom. This is the most important thing that we need to understand here. As you can see here, I used هذا. البيت, actually it's not like a human. If it's in English we'll use it, but or which, but in Arabic language we use هذا. Even if this البيت, which is the house, even if it was a man or a name of a man, a name of person, we will consider it masculine, and we will use هذا again with it. That's why we needed to express something before something else. So now let's have an activity, last slide activity, as we used to. We will have these 3 sentences. We need to complete these sentences with the suitable pronouns. As you know, whenever the gap or the thing that we need to fill is in the middle of the sentence or in the beginning of the sentence, you would understand what we are talking about. Which one is relative pronouns, which one is demonstrative pronouns, or which one is relative pronouns. So out of what you are seeing, I need you to understand that there are masculine or feminine. How to know, how to understand. So now I'll answer that. For the first sentence, هذه القطة تمشي بالقرب مني. This cat is walking near me. هي تحب البحر. How did I know? I know that she's a female because of the verb. The verb starts with the letter ta. And the first sentence, I knew that it's a female because القطة, whenever I attach ta, this ta, if consider this ta is not there, and it's القط without the ta, I would understand that this is a masculine, this is a male cat. So it will be هذا القط. هذا القط. Of course, تمشي will not stay the same because this is the verb. It will be يمشي. So rather than say تمشي with the letter ta, we will say يمشي with the letter ya. يمشي. So everything is really built in a way that you would understand. Even if you start in the middle of the sentence, in the beginning of the sentence, you will know what's going on. Because the verb will follow the subject will follow the verb will follow even the pronoun itself. What about the last sentence? We are saying القطتان. جاءت القطتان, and then we have to fill this gap, and then أردتهما, I wanted. So القطة, this ta after the letter ta, there is ta. This ta actually, if it's one singular cat, it's one singular cat, we'll say القطة, القطة, القطة. Because as we learned before in the alphabets, القطة, ta, if it comes at the middle, at the last word letter of the sentence, it will be ta مربوطة, closed ta, or ta مفتوحة if it's in some cases. So whenever once I saw this القطتان with ta, I would understand that it's a feminine. I will use اللتان, not اللذان. Okay, let's see how it's going to be if it's talking about masculine cats, male cat. Let me just write it here, and just want to express it in a way that just to know the difference between the masculine and the feminine here for this particular last sentence. First, I will say جاء. جاء is a past tense verb. I'm not using ta because ta here is used only for masculine. And then القطة, القطات, القطان. I did not use the ta here. I did not say القطتان. I said القطان. جاء القطان اللذان. I would directly say اللذان because I would know that the verb is expressing someone which is a singular هو, which is he. القطان, القطان, there is no ta, as you can see here, there is no ta. So I would understand that it's a masculine. And القطان, القطان, there is no ta again. اللذاني, of course I would use اللذان, not اللتان. And then that I wanted, the two cats which I wanted came. Here is going to be the last slide in our lecture. I wish you understand what we are trying to give you here. If you need anything, if you forget something, if you want to go back to the slides, to the videos, to see the video once again, that would be much better to understand the points that you missed. See you in next class.